Welcome to our 5 on 5. Please be joined today by Siskiyou County Sheriff Jon Lopey. Sheriff, good to see you.
How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So, we've never done this interview. I want to get a little background. How long you've been sheriff now, and tell us how you got your start.
Finishing up my 7th year. I've been in law enforcement almost 40 years. Started out in 1977. Started out with a small police department, Vacaville, California.
Sure.
And then I went on the California Highway Patrol, where I served as an officer through assistant chief for almost 33 years. And then I ran for sheriff in 2010 and got elected in the first part of 2011. So
yeah.
Finishing up my 2nd term.
Yeah, well, congratulations on 40 years in law enforcement.
Yeah,
That's
thank
very
you.
impressive.
Thank you
well
very
done,
much.
4 decades. Recently, the county asked the governor to declare Siskiyou County to be in a state of emergency, I believe, in regards to marijuana. I believe there's been no official word on that request from the governor. Do you believe that's going to happen?
Well, the proclamation was, I think, a great step in the right direction, and I got to tell you that I have outstanding support from my board of supervisors, our county administrator, our Assemblyman Brian Dowley, and also Ted Gaines, our state senator, and also our congressman. So this is a request made to the board of supervisors to declare this proclamation because of the overwhelming problem we have with illicit cannabis grows, not to be confused with the legal, the recreational or the medicinal use of cannabis in our county. But there was kind of a two-pronged approach to that problem identification, and the request for assistance and support from our state counterparts is we have an overwhelming problem on private property. We have an estimated 2,000 illegal marijuana grows on private property. And that's one of our primary concerns because, we have a lot of environmental blight and a severe threat to our public health and safety. To me, it's not much different than a raging forest fire because it's helping to destroy our county.
Okay, all right. Well, we're going to take a quick break. We'll have much more in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. Again, we're here with Siskiyou County Sheriff Jon Lopey. Sheriff, we were talking before about marijuana. Now, you were allegedly bribed. You worked with was it another ATF or someone you worked with in a bribery case where someone was trying to, was it marijuana related? They were trying to throw some money
Right, a cannabis, grower, from Siskiyou County actually attempted to bribe me, and he offered me, well, initially $1 million, and I was receiving cash payments, but what I did is I contacted the U.S. Attorney's Office, right after the offer was made, and then I worked with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. The U.S. Attorney and the FBI, they work with us, and what they asked me to do is essentially conduct an undercover operation where I met with the subject about 7 or 8 times. Yeah. And we got everything, on video and audio recorded, wow. And had a record of
sure.
money being transferred and things of that nature. So yeah, it was a kind of an unusual case, but that was a classic example of the federal government, the U.S. Attorney and the FBI working with the Siskiyou County Sheriff's Office and me personally, to work this investigation. And the suspect right now, Mr. Bang, is pending federal charges in federal court.
Wow, okay, and speaking of federal, you wrote a letter, I believe, to Attorney General Jeff Sessions looking for more assistance. I assume that's with marijuana?
Right, and really the proclamation that the county initiated,
waiting on from the governor, right,
that we're waiting on from the governor, there was really 2 primary objectives in that. And it's nice to have the political support to do something like that. But one is to get the message out that, hey, everybody's welcome in Siskiyou County, but don't come to Siskiyou County and engage in drug trafficking and expect to be unabated in your activities, that we're going to go after you. Secondarily, we were asking for additional resources and support. Yeah, we're a high-intensity drug trafficking area as designated by the United States Department of Justice. So we're asking for really additional resources from our federal and state counterparts. The reason I wrote Attorney General Sessions was to urge him, to provide us more support. And I'll tell you, the Drug Enforcement Administration has been very supportive. And I got a call from Washington, D.C. A week before last, and their coordinator who handles DSEP funds, which are cannabis eradication funds. You know, they released funds that we normally get every year from the federal government early, and he also advised me they're going to try to get us additional funds. So really, to combat illicit drug trafficking, in my opinion, you know, we have drug task forces operating, you know, in our region. We also have a drug task force, the Siskiyou Unified Major Investigation Team. There's a Cal DOJ-led team that deals with hard drugs like meth and opioids and prescription drugs and cocaine, and we have a big problem with hard drugs as well. But really the key to combat this illegal drug trafficking is for the federal, state, and local governments to get together and in a task force fashion fund and resource these efforts to combat illicit drug trafficking, because we have a big problem and it's getting bigger. I haven't seen drug trafficking this bad since the 70s.
Wow. Okay, so it has been this bad before, but it's just been a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it is very pervasive. And I-5 is a major drug corridor. So our county, especially Summit, the task force that deals with the hard drugs, you know, we get a lot of drug trafficking. Most of it's going northbound on Interstate 5. US 97 is a major drug corridor, 96 to a lesser extent, but we get it all here.
Wow. Well, I know how busy you are.
Yes, and so do our Oregon brethren.
Yes,
you know.
exactly. Well, we appreciate you coming up here. It's good to see you.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Stay with us. We'll be right back.